So we're investigating this, what seems to be a rather mysterious shooting in this private home where nobody sees, nobody hears, nobody knows. We've now gotten ourselves into the position of having a 13-year-old witness in a neighboring house who saw something she thought was suspicious.
Okay, Nadine, can you tell me what you saw?
Well, I was in my room listening to some music. And I looked out the window and I saw this guy come out of that house and jump into his car and drive away really, really fast. And I just thought that was really suspicious.
Now, who is he? Is he our killer, fleeing the scene of what he's just done? He certainly could be.
Can you tell me what the guy looked like?
He was a white guy, maybe in his 20s. Oh, and he had long blonde hair.
How about the car he drove off in? Can you tell me about that?
It was a black truck, a pickup truck with a red stripe on it.
Now, that is awfully good. How many black pickup trucks with a red stripe have a long-haired blonde driver? Probably not that many.
Go ahead and put an APB out to all the units on that pickup truck and a description of the driver.
Yes, sir.
We have to find that person, see if they're involved. Could be the suspect, could be a witness. We don't know, but we have to find out who that person is.
All right, well, thank you, Nadine. You've been very helpful. You might want to think about getting some sleep now.
Yes, sir.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Go for Kenda.
Kenda receives an update on the status of his victim.
10-4. Yeah, I just got a call. They pronounced the victim.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and notify the next of kin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I sent a detective, calls me, said, well, it's a homicide. They pronounced it. He has a fatal brain injury.
I got a call from an investigator saying that they were at my mother's house and that Billy was shot. I was shocked. I didn't know what to think.
With Willie's death now ruled a homicide, Kenda waits anxiously to see if the APB produces a hit on his suspected killer.
313 to Kenda.
Go for Kenda.
Sir, I'm standing here looking at a black truck with a red stripe.
Perfect. What's your location?
Within a few minutes of putting that APB out, I'm not surprised we get a hit. The officer says it's unoccupied, but it's only a few miles from our crime scene. And we head over to it right away.
The vehicle in question is parked in an otherwise empty lot.
Looks like a pretty good match to me.
It sure does. That's interesting. It's not even warm.
It certainly matches the description. The officer was correct in calling it into us. But nothing about it says it was just driven because the hood is cold as ice.
Yeah, I don't think this is our truck. All right.
It is unusual that it is black with a red stripe, but it's been parked there for some time. The odds are it's probably not it, but we're still curious about it. So what are we going to do? We're going to find the right one with a warm hood and maybe a warm body behind the wheel.
It looks like it's time to play alarm clock again. Let's go start waking some people up.
Yes, sir.
Headquarters, Lieutenant Kenda.
Go for Kenda.
But before Kenda can proceed with his plan to canvass the area, a call from the station suggests he should immediately change course.
Lieutenant, I got a gentleman here. He walked into headquarters. He brought us a gun that he says was used in the shooting that occurred earlier this evening.
The guy reports that this gun came from the shooting on Bruno Circle, which is the shooting where our victim, Willie McCarty, died. And he believes that this is the murder weapon.
10-4, do you know how he got to the station?
Yes, sir. He drove here by himself.
Do you know what he was driving?
It is a black pickup truck.
Do you have any further description of the pickup truck?
Yes, sir. It had a red stripe running down the side.
So here's truck number 2, but this is the right truck. We've lost interest in our cold-hooded pickup truck. I'm going to go meet the warm body driving the warm pickup truck.
At CSPD's operations center, Kenda gets a look at the potential murder weapon.
How you doing?
Hey, Lieutenant, here's what I got for you.
That definitely matches the caliber of the bullet case we found at the crime scene. Where's the guy that brought it in?
He's actually in the back in one of the interrogation rooms waiting on you.
All interrogation rooms, just like in the movies, have a two-way mirror. I want to look at this guy before I talk to him to see what he's doing.
According to the desk manager, the man's name is Sean Manchester.
He's relatively calm, but he has long blonde hair, and he's in his 20s, and he's white. He is who Nadine saw leave that house. No question in my mind. The question is, what role did he play in our little scenario? That I don't know. But he does.
Well, first thing I need to inform you that this is a homicide investigation. And considering you walked in here with what appears to be the murder weapon, are you comfortable talking to me without an attorney present?
Yes, sir. I don't need anybody.
He is cooperative. He can't wait to tell me what he knows.
And you should tell me what happened to Willie last night.
I'm anticipating that he's going to confess to this crime. What he says next surprises me.
Well, I didn't kill Willie, but I think I might know who did. Well, last night I went over to Willie and Sang's place to help them work on a limo.
But when he got there, Sang and Willie were nowhere to be found.
So I said, okay, I'll just get to work by myself. Well, I've been working for a little while, and then from inside the house, I hear an argument start to escalate.
What were you doing in there? What? Screw Kim again? What are you talking crazy? No. Get the hell out of here, Willie!
All of a sudden, I hear a strange popping noise.
So he goes in the house to see what's happening. He sees Willie laying on the floor, sees some blood on his head.
He claimed that up until that moment, he really didn't realize that there'd been a shooting, that he thought maybe Willie had fallen down the stairs and banged his head or something.
I see Sang, and he has this box in his hands. I'm like, hey, what happened, man? He just hands me the box. He tells me to get out of here and drive.
Drive where? Drive. Just drive.
Sean tells Kenda that shortly after he drove away, something fell out of the box onto the floor of his truck.
Now he's putting two and two together in his own head. My God, Willie's been shot, and Sang must be the guy that shot him.
Well, I sure as hell don't want to be the accomplice to a murder, so I decided I'd bring the gun to you guys.
His story makes absolute perfect sense to me. I don't think he's involved in this, but I certainly know who is. Sang and Kim have been lying from the beginning. They know exactly what happened. They were hopeful they could get past this by continuing to lie. Because after all, the police will never figure this out. Oh yeah, we will. And then we're gonna make you eat the lies you've been telling us. And we're gonna hammer the last nails in your coffin of guilt with those very same lies.